Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy Education London, and this is our video on A Christmas Carol, including the key quotes and the cheat sheet that you can use in preparation for your exams. Now, we are literally a few days away from your exams, and this video will be covering the key quotes and everything you need to know, but making your learning and revision easy. So make sure you watch until the end to benefit, and don't forget to subscribe as it does help our channel grow. And if you are interested in joining our online classes, do contact us today via our email, easyeducationlondon@gmail.com. Why join our classes, you may ask? We have expert and qualified teachers teaching our classes, helping you prepare for your answers and providing you with constructive feedback, and also going through predicted papers with predicted answers as well. So if you are interested, do contact us today as spaces are extremely limited. Right, so starting off with Christmas Carol, what we have in front of us is a cheat sheet for Stave 1. Now, having a look at it very quickly, what are some three key facts, or what are the key facts rather, that we've established in Stave 1? So it's quite apparent that Scrooge is immediately presented as an unpleasant character who's completely obsessed with making money. Okay, that's quite apparent from the get-go. Number two, we quickly learn that Scrooge lives his life alone. No one even greets him in the street, and beggars don't even ask him for help. And also, number three, we see how badly Scrooge treats his employee, Bob Cratchit, and his upper-class ignorance when two gentlemen arrive to ask about giving money to charity. Now, for Stave 1, these are some key quotes that you may want to use in your exam when answering the question. So, for example, as you can see from the left-hand side, you've got, "Oh, but he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone." What does that quote show? What does it suggest? It shows that Scrooge begins the story as a money-grabbing, selfish old man. His only concern is making money, okay? You've got the second quote, the third one. Now, I'm not going to explain and go over each individual quote, otherwise this video will be extremely long, but you get the idea. So what I would say is you can take a screenshot of this, because it's something that you definitely want to be referring to in terms of your exam, if you have a question on Scrooge, etc. So do take a screenshot of this, as it's something really handy for your exams. The most important questions from Stave 1, you can see them on the left-hand side and the answers on the right-hand side. So I know some of you have not looked at Christmas Carol for a long time, so it's important that you just go through this, and this is a great refresher to re-jog your memory in preparation for your exam. So do take a screenshot of this for Stave 1. So this is literally the key quotes and the most important questions for Stave 1, and essentially this is your cheat sheet that you can use in preparation for your exams. Moving on. So for Stave 2, this is our cheat sheet for Stave 2. What are the three key facts that you need to remember? We meet Scrooge's sister, Fan, who represents the main source of love in Scrooge's young life. Number two, Scrooge watches the Fezziwigs throwing a huge Christmas party for their employees. This visitation makes Scrooge realize how poorly he treats Bob Cratchit. We meet Belle, Scrooge's ex-fiancée. We learn that Scrooge seems to prioritize money over love. So that same notion of him having monetary goals, monetary objectives, that same notion it transitions from Stave 1 to Stave 2. So it's quite apparent and quite consistent. Now, some key quotations very quickly, just to go over them. So the first one, "A solitary child neglected by his friends is left there still." Now, what does this quote suggest? It shows that Dickens gives the reader a hint about why Scrooge has ended up as a solitary old man with no friends. This is how he grew up, without support or love from most people, except for his sister Fan. So that's one of the key quotes from Stave 2. The other two you can go over, read, take a screenshot, whatever. And what are some important questions for you to remember in terms of your revision? So, which ghost visits Scrooge in Stave 2? We know that if you've read the text, it's the ghost of Christmas past, and so on and so forth. So now I'm not going to go over it, as you can imagine, otherwise the video is going to be extremely long. Do take a screenshot. This is really, really handy and helpful regardless of your exam board, Edexcel, AQA, OCR. So that's everything you need for Stave 2 for Christmas Carol. Now moving on to Stave 4. This is our cheat sheet for Stave 4. what are the three key facts? The ghost of Christmas yet to come takes Scrooge to a part of London he has never been before, symbolizing his ignorance. Number 2, Scrooge learns the upsetting news that no one mourns his death and Tiny Tim has died. Number 3 is that Scrooge vows to change his way at the end of Stave 4. So if you're thinking about where does he exactly change or transition, it actually takes place towards the end of Stave 4. So you need to remember the key point at where he transitions or shifts. What are some key quotes that you need to remember? So for example, again, you could probably go over the first one. An obscure part of the town where Scrooge had never penetrated before, although he recognized its situation and its bad repute. What does this quote show? It shows that Scrooge has been living an ignorant life, basing all of his ideas about poorer people on his ideas and assumptions about where they live and what they do. He has never ever been to this particular part of London before, but he knows it by its bad reputation. What are the most important questions that you need to know? So for example, let's say if we look at the first one, how does Scrooge greet the ghost of Christmas yet to come? Scrooge bends down up on his knee before the ghost, if you remember that part. This is significant as Scrooge gets lower every time he meets the ghost, and this suggests Scrooge is being submissive. So that's something for you to remember. And also, if you look at the last question, what revelation finally pushes Scrooge to say that he has learned his lesson? The revelation that Tiny Tim has died and that Scrooge could have helped to prevent it encourages Scrooge to vow to change his ways. So that is essentially what happens in Stave 4, and that's a significant reason to why he is, almost conditioning himself to change. So that's something for you to remember. And the last and final section, which is Stave 5, you are looking at the 3 following key facts. Number 1, Stave 5 is Scrooge's rebirth and redemption. Scrooge has been a sinful man, has learnt the reasons for and consequences of his actions, and is now a changed man. Scrooge sends a huge turkey to Bob Cratchit's family and gives Bob Cratchit a pay rise to assist his family. And number 3, Scrooge goes to Fred's house and asks to join in with their Christmas. Now, these are some of the key quotes from Stave 5. So, for example, "I'll send it to Bob Cratchit," whispered Scrooge, rubbing his hands and splitting with a laugh. What does this suggest? What does it indicate? Scrooge calls out to a boy in the street and asks him to go and buy a huge turkey for Bob Cratchit's family and to bring the poulterer to him. He pays the boy for his service and even pays for the poulterer to take a cab to the Cratchit house. So that's something for you to remember. And what are some important questions? So what is the weather like in Stave 5? So we see that there's no fog outside. This could suggest that the metaphorical fog, which had blocked the joy and goodness from Scrooge's life, has now been cleared away. What does Scrooge call the boy in the street? Scrooge calls him a fine fellow. This suggests that he sees the stranger as a fellow human being, unlike early in the novel. So that's quite apparent. He's changed his ways, and it's something that the readers acknowledge and appreciate, because it shows you even someone like Scrooge has the ability to change their ways. Why does Scrooge say he's giving Bob Cratchit a pay rise or pay raise? Scrooge promises to raise Bob's salary and helps to assist your struggling family. So that's something for you to talk about, and the significance of that. And remember, you need to have a range of quotes memorized in preparation for this exam, so it saves you time and you'll be able to write a very detailed answer. Finally, what changes do we hear Scrooge has made at the end of Stave 5? He was a second father to Tiny Tim. He lives a happy life. He celebrates Christmas and he is a good citizen. So these are essentially the important questions and quotes from Stave 5. And this is your cheat sheet for success for A Christmas Carol, which you all will be sitting very soon. Okay, and depending on when you're watching this video, that's probably going to be in the next week, or probably in the next few days as well. So I just wanted to wish you all the best of luck. And even if you're watching this after the exam, if you're in year 10, year 9, etc., thank you for watching. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope it's covered the main quotes and everything you need to know in a nutshell for A Christmas Carol. Other than that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Easy Education London, on Instagram, on TikTok, etc. And if you did stay until the end, thank you very much. Do leave a comment saying you watched until the end, and I would highly appreciate that. And if you do have any comments, any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Once again, thank you all for the support. I highly appreciate it, and I shall see you very soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more. Thank you.